G-O-O-H.com. Make sure you get 3 O's in there. And there's a questionnaire. We want everybody to complete this questionnaire and document how they would vote if they happen to be in office. That there's no right or wrong answer whatsoever. Go does not have an agenda. We don't take a position on any issue. We want you and everybody in America to complete this questionnaire and just put in writing how you would vote if you happen to be in office. We understand 99 or 95 or some large percent of Americans have no interest in serving. That's not the point. We want you to go and document how you would vote if you were in office. Now, beginning late in 2011, what we're going to do is we'll randomly sort all of the participants into pools of 10 within their district. So let's say you have 1,000 members in the state of Texas, District 31. We would have 100 pools of 10. And each of those pools would sit down on a Saturday morning with 10 people, you and 9 of your peers. You'll look at the answers of these other 9 people, and you'll have a one-on-one conversation with each, and you'll talk as a group. And in groups of 10, you'll choose 2 people to represent that group. You're going to consider the answers. You're going to consider their willingness to serve, what they've accomplished in life. You'll consider whatever you want to consider, but each group of 10 will choose 2 people. Those 2 people will advance. The next weekend, you'd have new but fewer pools of 10, and they would choose 2. And that process repeats 3 or 4 times until ultimately one person is chosen in each of the 435 districts. That person will be chosen before the primaries start. We will help them get on the ballot. We'll help them file with the FEC. We'll help them organize a campaign, create a website, provide all of the infrastructure. But what we're going to do is we're going to take on each and every incumbent in the primaries, unless the candidate chooses to run as an independent, but we'll take them on 435 times. Now, the parties are generally not prepared to do battle in the primaries, but we're going to take them on, hopefully, in all 435 seats. And what we'll do next, when we take these folks on, is we'll run a national advertising campaign that effectively says this: America, we can keep voting for the same politicians, red or blue, like we've always done, and we'll get the same results that we've always seen. They'll ignore the Fed. They'll let the deficit run up. They'll leave the borders open. They'll, just go on and on, whatever your gripes are with the tax system or the education system. We know what the politicians of both parties are going to do. Or, for the first time ever, you'll have an opportunity to vote for a true citizen representative who has been chosen by their peers, is not a career politician, and is not indebted to a party. Now, the other big piece of this is we're going to have taken the money completely out. Our candidates will not need to raise money. And here's why. When I created this system, my wife and I said we would fund this, that we don't want or need anybody's money until we're ready to run. And while people have been sitting in money, we've collected probably on the order of $250,000 that we're sitting on. We don't need funds at this time. But once we get ready to run, we'll ask all of our members to make a $100 donation. We'll pool that money, and we'll begin advertising. That's just the start. To date, we've had over 2 million visitors to our website, thego.com, G-O-O-H.com. We have almost 90,000 members who will be choosing these candidates, and that number will continue to grow over the course of the year. But this has all been done via word of mouth, via conferences just like this, via people like John Michael Chambers having us on his radio show, or maybe Stewart would send a note, to members of his group or what have you. But it's all word of mouth. But once we collect funds and we start advertising, you have to remember that 87% of the country disapproves of the job Congress is doing. And once they hear there's a new opportunity to elect true citizen representatives, we are convinced that these folks will sign up with GO, they will join, they will help us choose the right citizen representatives, and they will help fund this effort. The parties, they're in the red right now. They're not going to have the funds they need to compete in 435 primaries come next year. So we believe if we hit them all at once, we can move forward. Now, if you think back some of the problems the gentlemen before me have been discussing, and I said it's impossible to know, how serious these are, when they're going to happen, or anything like that. But one thing is certain: if we put 435 men and women, just like those on this call, in Congress in 2012, or if we would put half that many, we can turn things around almost overnight. All of a sudden, if you want to audit the Fed or you want the Congress to retake control of printing the money, the people there can make that happen. If you want to eliminate the Department of Education or pass the Single Bill Act or pass a balanced budget amendment, the people there could make that happen. It'll be up to the candidates that are chosen But step back and think about what Joe is proposing here. We are not pushing an agenda on anybody. We are asking the members of each congressional district to choose a true citizen representative among themselves. GO is nothing but a process that enables the people to choose the best possible candidate. We're going to raise the money and fund those 435 candidates so that they compete without having any ties to special interest groups or having any obligations to parties, and the people that are chosen will not be career politicians. If you want to change things around, there's a very simple way to do it. So let me close and leave you guys with this thought. We can get to the Q&A. If you guys remember that movie, The Field of Dreams, and the line, if we build it, he will come. GO is a system that we have built, and now we seek the modern-day incarnations of Madison and Franklin and Jefferson to step out of those proverbial cornfields and go to Washington and represent us. And if we can get folks like the ones on this call tonight to go and join, it takes nothing but an email address to join, and to start recruiting your the people in your networks, your family, your friends, to get on board with us. We can turn this country around in 2012 by putting 435 or some number thereof in Congress, and we can make the changes that we all seek. If we don't do this, we're going to reelect probably 90 or 95% of the incumbents, and I think everything we've heard is just it's a matter of time. So, John Michael, thank you for having me on, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Tim, and I'm going to do a bit of a recap, and I appreciate everybody staying right on time. I'm actually the only culprit who ran over. I apologize. But thank you very much, and we're going to address everybody's questions in just a moment. Here's a bit of a recap. I believe, first and foremost, we have to protect and preserve our personal assets, and our way of life. And again, through the Asset Preservation Institute, we begin with the 4 pillars. Pray to God. If we're spiritually grounded, we can get through things. I ask for wisdom, protection, and strength. 2, protect and preserve our wealth. We talked about gold and silver, analyzing debt, and taking a look at getting out of the old paradigm and looking at the paper to tangible ratios, and start getting educated before you make any moves. But this is very, very important. Also, I encourage you to visit AssetPreservationInstitute.org. We have a YouTube channel where many of the presenters here and others, we've uploaded interviews and videos on these very topics. There's about 88 of these interviews that we've conducted, and so you can find this on our YouTube channel by going to the API site. Please visit Kirk Elliott's site, which is KirkElliottPhD.com. Kirk can assist our listeners in designing an optimum, tangible, precious metals portfolio. And please, buyer beware. It's an unregulated industry. Also at the AssetPreservationInstitute.org, we don't sell any products, but we do have a very detailed due diligence checklist about understanding precious metals. And I would encourage you to go there and watch some of the YouTube videos as well. So as far as solutions go, API model helps you protect and preserve your assets and way of life. Through the Protect Life aspect, we're talking about firearms, we're talking about food, we're talking about having a family discussion and a plan B, and that dovetails right into the Oath Keepers and some of the messages that Stuart Rhodes shared with us tonight, which is the importance of states' rights, also the alternative market movement, alternative market communities, self-sustaining, where we come into a barter system. Because you see, folks, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the collapse is probably, no one knows for sure, but estimates are anywhere from perhaps 6 months to 3 years. So we need to start preparing now. And visit oathkeepers.org and become a member. You can become an associate member even if you are not active or retired law enforcement or military. And again, there are solutions that Stuart has outlined, and you can find some information out about this by visiting neithercorp.us and look for a full launch soon on the alternative market movement. So these are the solutions our presenters covered tonight. And of course, Tim Cox just concluded with GetOutOfOurHouse.com, a workable system to cleanse the House of Representatives and get this country back on track. Tea parties have done great work, but I'll save that subject for another meeting. But I will say that I don't know the hard number, but you can get the information, and we can certainly email it to you. A large majority of the quote Tea Party, quote conservative candidates just voted for the Patriot Act.